The live as this Artemis rocket is going to try again to take off. This is the chart for the moment it's supposed to take off if it leaves on time. Now I have included the asteroid Artemis. It's at 12 degrees of Taurus, right on the north node of the moon. So that's extremely significant, is it not? So Artemis is like Diana, the goddess of the moon, and the moon is at 20 degrees of Leo, directly opposite Saturn in Aquarius, which represents new technology, and squaring the Scorpio sun and widely squaring Mercury. But you can see that configuration there. Now Jupiter conjunct Neptune is in the 7th house of this chart. Jupiter's retrograde, Neptune's retrograde in the 7th house. That means that there can be things going amiss. There could be problems with gasoline leaks, other leaks, things that they cannot foresee. Mars is retrograde. Now remember, the reason that all of these things, all of these launches have been delayed is because NASA, who hates astrologers, even though astronomy, astrology, and being a doctor were once part of the same job description not that long ago, Mars turned retrograde on October the 30th, and it will continue to be retrograde until January the 12th. So while Mars is retrograde, it delays all information, it scrambles all information, and things are not moving ahead. So it is not a good time to do this. Not that everything stops, but not the best time. Okay, Mars is retrograde. You can see it there. At the top of the chart, 23 degrees of Gemini. Okay, it is trining Saturn in Aquarius, so that's a good thing because these two malefics, Mars and Saturn, are usually the limitation planets, so they're off in the lofty skies. They're up in the air. Things could be up in the air. Astrology is very literal. The great goddess Ceres, Demeter, is on the ascendant there at 19 degrees of Virgo. And again, there's a connection with all of these goddess asteroids. Let's see, Pluto's in Capricorn at 26 degrees, in conjunct Mars, as is the Sun. So this is, again, a sense of, it's called a finger of God, or a yod, where two planets are sextile each other. You can see Sun in Scorpio there, Pluto in Capricorn. In conjunct, those little dotted green lines are in conjunct to Mars and Gemini, up in the 10th house of worldly fame. Okay, now, so NASA's, this is the first attempted moon launch in many, many years. It was all abandoned a long time ago. A lot of people say it's just a money laundering thing. Let's see what else we got here. The asteroid Vesta investments is at 28 degrees of Aquarius. Now Saturn will hit that point later on, but this is a transit chart here. The asteroid Juno, the feminine form of Venus, is in Pisces there. In the 6th house of work or service, there was a woman's voice when I first turned this on. There is Lilith and Athena. Now Athena is the head goddess of Athens, and Artemis. They're all Greek goddesses, right? All the asteroids are named after Greek goddesses. So there she is up there. The archetype of the first woman. Now this is going to be the first female launch once the women get ready. This is just a test here today in Athena. So it's very, very feminist, Amazonian oriented, opposite Pluto and Capricorn. So there is some big plutocratic secrets underneath all this, why they're going to the moon now. Again, all the billions of dollars that they spent trying to go to the moon and all that, a lot of people don't believe it ever happened, right? Well, at least the technology when they first landed on the moon wasn't there, and everybody knows Stanley Kubrick filmed that moon landing in a film studio. Okay, so kind of a big, reiteration of that big the big fixed square Grand Cross going on here. You can see that looks a little off kilter. They're getting pretty close. They might launch at any minute. I'm listening in the background here. So, okay, 15 seconds to go. So it is 1:45 a.m. That's what I set this to. Let's pray that everything goes okay, because Jupiter conjunct Neptune in Pisces could be an explosion. Also, Mars retrograde. So I'm going to keep talking here while this is getting ready to go off. Actually, maybe I will switch the screen so you're going to be able to see it actually right now. We'll watch that for a bit now. So they are a little bit later than they said. Okay, they're delayed now. So they're 2 minutes and 9 seconds, okay, to go. Okay. Now, I'm not sure if this is a replaceable rocket like one that SpaceX built or not, because I know that Elon Musk is working with NASA now. So Artemis, the goddess of the moon, Diana, and the archetype of the Princess Diana, of course, was very powerful during her lifetime, and so in a way Artemis is the Roman name for her, and Demeter was her Greek name. Sorry, Diana was her Greek name. All different moon goddesses. She was a virgin goddess, Artemis. She was famed for running in the woods with her wolf. She was a huntress. She never married. She killed Actaeon because he caught her in her ritual revirginating bath, where she regained her virginity again, or her purity again, or really it was about these ancient parthenogenesis practices that women did, and he caught her naked, and she killed him with an arrow, and their dogs tore him apart. So, all right, Ceres there. So the Great Mother. So there's a lot of really nice feminine energy in this. Now Venus has just entered Sagittarius, and Sagittarius is about travel, ruled by Jupiter and Pisces, very spacey there. So Jupiter is very lucky. It's the planet of luck and positive energy and good fortune. A little bit over the top, a little bit extravagant at times. But Jupiter is about travel and big travel, space travel. Jupiter on an esoteric level represents the higher, like, spiritual, galactic master teachers, because the sign of Sagittarius is really the sign of our galaxy, right? So Jupiter, while it's in Pisces right now, it is squaring the galactic center, which is right there. You can see that it says Gala there. That's the galactic center, 27 degrees of Sag. So Venus is in a much more beneficial place here, trined by Jupiter. And again, Jupiter is trining Mercury and the Sun. Oh, there they go. They're going to take off now. Let's watch that. There we go. There we go. We rise together, back to the moon and beyond. Sounds like something from Buzz Lightyear. Okay. So I think it went off at 1:47 a.m. 1:48. All right, there we go. So how does it feel to see this kind of thrusting power?
Houston, all good calls so far. Now 30 seconds into the flight of Artemis 1. First milestone will be for the vehicle to pass through max Q at about 1 minute and 9 seconds into launch. This is the greatest period of atmospheric force on the rocket. SLS now traveling 607 miles per hour. You're looking at 8.8 million pounds of maximum thrust. Quiet here in the loops.
All that fuel being burned up.
4 core stage engines throttling down ahead of passing through max Q.
And what does it really get us to send a rocket to the moon? Are these just more Cold War games that they used to play? I mean, what is the point? Some people say the moon isn't a real planet.
21 seconds into the flight, traveling at 1,420 miles per hour.
Some people say that the moon is just a hollow space thing. They landed on the moon, it created a thud. I've heard that. I've seen those videos.
The next major milestone will be for the solid rocket boosters to cut off and jettison about 2 minutes and 11 seconds into the flight, so about 30 seconds
emotions,
from now.
Astrologically,
Again,
in real time, everybody is more affected by a full moon.
Flight of Artemis 1.
There is talk that it is an artificial control device to control women's bodies, to make them bleed every month. That's a pretty extravagant thing, but I have heard that, and it makes sense if you do the research.
Standing by for solid rocket booster jettison, and shortly thereafter.
Oh, nice image. Just watch the image and see what you see, because this is actually a program here.
That the solid rocket boosters have
kind of
separated
like these
177-foot boosters. Now the core stage continues to power the flight of Orion, all 4 RS-25 engines firing, traveling over 3,400 miles per hour, 46 miles downrange. 2 minutes and 36 seconds into the flight. Hearing nominal calls here in Mission Control Houston. We've still got 4 good engines on the core stage. Next up, we'll be looking for the service module fairing to separate. This is 3 15 by 15 foot fairing panels, providing structural support, protecting the service module. Those will separate at about 3 minutes and 11 seconds into flight, and very shortly thereafter will be followed by the launch abort system separation. Just over 3 minutes into the flight of Artemis 1, now traveling over 4,060 miles per hour, 83 miles downrange. We just had confirmation that the service module fairing has separated. and that the launch abort system pyros have fired, separating those from Orion as well. For future crew members,
Okay, what happened?
we just heard the call for 3-engine press, meaning if SLS were to lose an engine at this point in the mission, we could still achieve a nominal mission. We would just have an extended main engine cutoff time. However, we still have 4 good engines, all at maximum thrust right now, powering the first flight of Artemis at 5,200 miles per hour, 148 miles downrange.
Looks like a big cigar.
We're 4 minutes and 16 seconds into the flight of Artemis 1. So far, we've had a clean ascent. We saw those solid rocket boosters jettison about 2 minutes and 11 seconds after liftoff. Shortly after, we had the service module panels fairings separate, as well as the launch abort system. The launch abort system was inert for this flight, except to perform this separation. Those 4 core stage engines will continue to fire and power the flight of Artemis 1, now traveling over 6,800 miles per hour, 229 miles downrange.
So these are archetypal energies in
Booster
Artemis.
flight controller reports that the
Great
engines are looking
Goddess.
good.
She's running free. She rules the moon. So in a sense, it symbolizes the goddess taking her
Our
place,
core
going
stage main
home,
engine cutoff time is
back
about
to
8
the
minutes
moon.
and 3
So,
seconds. We are
this
now
is all
5
just a
minutes
play
and
show.
11 seconds into the flight.
And again, they're just giving the world
7,656 miles
symbolic
per hour.
messages. Artemis returning to her home, the moon, is a very good thing
Again, 4
astrologically
good core stage
and
engines, those 4
archetypally.
RS-25 engines.
So sending you the best blessings.